Amani, Kutoka, you, peace from above. Jambo, hello. Welcome to Black TV 123, where I, McKinley and Robinson, I teach knowledge, things that you know, but you're not allowed to say because knowledge won't let you say what you see. Prime example, a few minutes ago, I was on TikTok and I was speaking to this guy and he was telling me that Jesus is God. So I'm telling him about First Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah. First Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah. First Timothy chapter 2. First Timothy chapter 2, verse 5.
First Timothy chapter 2, verse 5 says there is one God, and Jesus Christ is the one mediator between God and humanity. This verse emphasizes Jesus as...
Did you what he said? You what they said? Jesus is the mediator between himself and man. But Jesus can't be the mediator because Jesus is God. That's what he said. Now, when I told him, First Timothy chapter 2, verse 5, he told me, it doesn't mean what it says because Jesus is God. So how can he be the mediator? Well, he's the mediator too. So how can they be both? Why would you put in a book, Jesus is God, and he's the mediator between God and man? Huh? Exactly. And of course, I got dumped. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I understand. Because it's just like what it's saying right there. As Willie Lynch said, by her being left alone, unprotected, with male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reversed roles. For fear of the young man's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. Because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offspring to psychologically independent, to be psychologically independent as well. Whatever you got the woman out front and the man behind and scared. Let me say it again, the man behind and scared. This is perfect situation for sound sleep and economics. Before the breaking process, we had to be alert and on guard at all times. Now we can sleep soundly, for out of frozen fear, his woman stands guard for us. He cannot get past her early infant slave molding process. He is a good tool, now ready to be tied to the horse at a tender age. By the time a boy reaches the age of 16, he is soundly broken in and ready for a long life of sound and efficient work and the reproduction of a unit of good labor force. Again, the woman stands guard for us. The woman tells her son, you need Jesus. You need to mind. You need to go to school. Mind your teacher. You need to go to work. Mind your boss. You need to get a wife. Mind your wife. All you need is Jesus. That's what they mean when they say we no longer have to be worried. The woman says, God, I'm living in America. Donald Trump made it official that English is the language of America. Yet, these black people are relying on people to tell them you need to speak Spanish and English in America. I keep trying to tell people, all I'm going to do is what I'm doing, like I'm doing right now. If I was 27, only thing I'd be doing is going, filling an application, and when I don't get hired, I'm suing. Going, filling an application, when I don't get hired, I'm suing. I'm suing, period. Because all this here, we're going to go to America, and we're going to make the Americans bow down to us. Keep telling y'all. Keep on believing in Jesus. See how far that's getting you. Keep on believing in Jesus. Jesus first, then Jesus now. These people was taking over the jobs. How were they taking over the jobs? Easy. Because y'all say Latino. Y'all, instead of, hey man, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cuban, that's it. You ain't getting ready to be no whole new group of people and gonna come to America and disrespect me. I have to tolerate it because God put me in this position to where I can't really do nothing but just stand on the outside and look. Man, it hurt my feeling that none of these people, none of these youngsters is paying attention to what Donald Trump's saying because, it's the Democrats. They so into he racist, he racist, he racist. The man got on national TV and said we can't be deported. And y'all letting people that can be deported outdo you because you call them Latino. Because you call them who they are not. As they call you the earth. Get out of here, earth. Get out of here, earth. Get out of here, earth. Excuse me. Well, once again. Because see, what y'all doing is y'all allowing these people to come in and get a McDonald's and then say, no, nobody black here. And then you turn around and go in there and spend your money. Then you turn around and go in there and spend your money. Oh, we can't do this and we can't do that because you keep calling on Jesus and Jesus. Now one of y'all will say Emmanuel. Now one of y'all will say Emmanuel, whose name means God with us. Because Matthew 1:23 tells you what it is. But you're so busy when you get to 125, it erases 123. When what you should be doing is erasing Jesus and putting Emmanuel, I-M-A-N-U-E-L there. Excuse me. So you can decide right then at that time, at that moment, revelations. You can reveal the truth to yourself right there. Matthew 1:23. And when you get to Matthew 1:25, you cross out Jesus and put Emmanuel, I-M-A-N-U-E-L. And when you put it there, then you start seating up to go to goals. You don't bow no more. You stand on your feet because you listen to Mark 11:25. Stand and pray. Feet on the ground. Head to the back to the sky. Face to heaven. Eyes closed so that you can see that it go to God and he can see that it's you from the highest point. But once again, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm here because when my mother, whom I met, God blessed me and gave me my mother. I didn't grow up with my mother, but he gave me my mother at the age of 75. And my mother, from the age of 75 to 92, she never once told me I need Jesus. Never once did my mother, during all the times that me and my mother talked, she never once told me I need Jesus. And her father, my grandfather, was a preacher. Whoops. My mother, the preacher's daughter, never once did she ever tell her baby boy, you need Jesus. Not once did she ever tell me that. A preacher's daughter told her baby boy, not once did she ever tell me, I need Jesus. There it is right there. See, once again, God prepared me for I am now to imitate Emmanuel, I-M-A-N-U-E-L, whose name means God with us. But he tells me and those who want to hear, he's the Son of Man. So therefore, 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5, God has a mediator between himself and men, and that man is Emmanuel. But see, when you read the Bible, it's going to say that man is Jesus. But it can't be Jesus because Jesus is God. That's just like I was telling this man, just like I was telling him. Jesus is God. So how can he be the mediator between himself and men? Huh? You said Jesus is God. So he can't be a mediator between himself and men because he is God. God has a mediator between himself and men, and that man is Emmanuel, who says, I'm the Son of Man. I did like you, cross through the room, woman. Oops. I did like you. Man had to open the door for me to come forth. Man didn't plan him, but man opened the door. Matthew 1:24, Joseph took his wife, and then he knew her not. The door had to be opened by man. For the man-child could not open the door from the inside. That goes against the laws of nature. And the first laws in and of this world is the laws in and of she, son, Mother Nature, Mother Earth, whom God of God. Go forth. I give you permission. I give you permission. Yes. Let there be life, and she was brought forth. The essence of life is what? The sun. Excuse me. That's why he spoke outside of himself to she, the sun, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. She, who Adam called son, as you went, Mother Nature, Mother Earth, whose job was to do what? Name everything. Name everything. Name everything. Again, for your mind, you ask for follow. The kingdom of heaven is within. Long as you allow yourself to see a J and can't say what you see, then you ain't got to keep wondering why they winning. They winning because you believe in Jesus. They winning because you believe in Jesus. That's why they winning. They're going to keep on winning because you calling on their God. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Instead of Jesus. Because Jesse is Jesse in English and Spanish. Jesse is Jesse in English and Spanish. So Jess is Jess in English and Spanish. Jess is Jess in English and Spanish. So you put S-E on the end, Jesse. Put U-S on the end, Jess-us. Jesus. Jesus is Jesus in English and Spanish. Jesus is Jesus in English and Spanish. Jesus is Jesus in English and Spanish. I didn't say so. They did. They said Jesse is Jesse in English and Spanish. They said J-E-S is Jess in English and Spanish. I don't need nobody to tell me that what I see don't count. Oops. See, just like I told you. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. Jesus can't be God and the mediator between himself and men. He can't be God and the mediator between himself and men. How is that possible? Because God said plain and simple, he has a mediator between himself and men. And that man is, it can't be Jesus because Jesus is God. But it can most definitely be my big brother Emmanuel, whose name means God with us. But he declares to the whole wide world, I'm the Son of Man. Stop Willie Lynchism by giving them their God. Jesus is your God. Just like I told him, you are Jesus free. I can tell you are Jesus free. How could I tell you Jesus free? Because this woman came up and she was telling him that she be going to places of work and she can't be hired because she black. And then he turned around and told her, no. We ain't talking about no McDonald's or nothing like that. We talking about all these other places. What? What? See, once again, when I heard him hollering at this woman and the woman talking about, wait a minute, calm down. No, I ain't got to calm down. I ain't got to do this. This is mine. You at my house. Cool. I left because I had seeded it enough. Here's this individual who gonna tell me justice is God. Prove me wrong. Then when I proved him wrong, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5, you can't be God and the mediator. How you gonna be God and the mediator? He wouldn't need a mediator. He specifically said he has a mediator between himself and man. You heard it. You heard them say Jesus. But wait a minute, ain't that AI? Why it ain't saying justice? Why it ain't saying justice? Let me see some. Matter of fact, yeah, let me see some, man. Let me see some. Spell Jesse. Spell Jesse out loud. Huh? Why it won't say nothing? This motherfucker. Oh, there it is. Wait a minute. No, it ain't. Google Translate. Pronounce Jesse. This bad boy won't say nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Is this going to say something? Okay. What?
So let's have to say more interesting and related and some of the most mispronounced names as well. So
my bad. I had the sound down again. Pronounce Jesse out loud.
Jesse is pronounced Jess-E-E with the stress on the first syllable.
Pronounce Jesus out loud.
In English, Jesus is pronounced J-E-Z-U-S with the stress on the first syllable. Think of it as a G sound followed by a Z-U-S sound.
Spell Jesse. Spell Jesse out loud.
The name is spelled J-E-S-S-E.
Spell Jesus out loud.
The word justice is spelled J-U-S-T-I-C-E.
Spell Jesus out loud.
The name Jesus is spelled J-E-S-U-S.
What is the first letter in Jesse?
The first letter in the name Jesse is J.
What is the first letter in Jesus?
The first letter in the name Jesus is J.
Oops, there it is. You see what I'm saying? Oops, there it is. There it is. The AI, once again, it's saying the same thing. It's saying the exact same thing. Jesse is Jesse. Yeah. But Jesus is Jesus. But the first thing it said the exact same thing. Didn't it say the same thing? Let me see. It said the exact same thing, that Jesus' first letter is a J. Of course, it's going to say that. Wow. It's artificial. Excuse me. It's artificial. It's been programmed by somebody who telling me don't say what you see. Here's proof for you not to say what you see, because I said so. I said that the first letter is a J, but you can't say what you see as I say the first letter is J. Jesse is J. Jesus is J. Wow. How does that happen? Pronounce Jesse in Spanish. Pronounce Jesse in Spanish out loud.
In Spanish, Jesse is pronounced he, ese, which is spelled hese. The J makes a strong H sound, and the accent on the final E makes it sound like say.
Jesse is Jesse in English and Spanish.
The name Jesse is usually the same in English and Spanish, but it can be spelled hese in Spanish.
There it is.
This spelling reflects a different pronunciation,
There it is.
often with a Y sound, like Yessie.
One more time. You hear what I'm saying? See, I'm already knowing why AI is trying to do what they do. Can't do me, baby. Once again, you heard what they said? I'm going to say it again. Jesse is Jesse in English and Spanish.
The name Jesse is generally Jesse in Spanish, though it can be pronounced with a Spanish accent, or sometimes as Yessie. It can also
Excuse me. Once again, I'm going to let AI in that for me. Trip C's, Trip C's, Trip C's. Cool Car Collected, www, whole wide world. Armani, Kutoka, you, peace from above. Free your mind, your ass will fall to the kingdom of heaven is within. Artificial intelligence is just that. It's artificial. And what does artificial mean? It's not real.